People's kid, how we doing? It's your boy Kobe back with another video, and as always, hope you guys are having a blessed day. Alright, so I know we're inching towards NBA playoff territory, but I recognize it has been over 2 years since my last college basketball video, and I'm putting a stop to that immediately. For those that don't know, Chet Holmgren, the #1 ranked player in the class of 2021, has committed to Gonzaga, and there has been some chatter about what this means for college basketball, as well as Holmgren's NBA prospects. In this video, I wanted to drop my thoughts on the matter and try to figure out how good Chet can actually become. As always, if you guys enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe, and with that said, let's dive right into it. #1 recruits. From guys like Shaquille O'Neal and Anthony Davis to guys like Jahlil Okafor and Shabazz Muhammad, it is pretty much a guarantee that the top-ranked player in the country will end up in the NBA in some capacity. Although we know there are some that clearly do not reach their potential, in the case of Chet Holmgren, he has a case for becoming one of the future stars of the NBA. Now, I'm fully aware this might be cliche to say, but I want to be clear, Chet was not always destined for this life. Growing up in Minnesota, there was a time Holmgren was closer to the water boy rather than the top-ranked player in the entire country. The reason was simple. Chet was a kid that did not have traditional basketball fundamentals you'd expect for a future NBA star. Take a guy like Kyrie Irving, for example. From as long as people around Kyrie can remember, teammates and coaches called Irving the perfect player who just had amazing instincts at every level he played on. Simply put, he was a star from day one. Holmgren was not. In fact, he was the exact opposite. According to his 3rd grade coach who saw Holmgren for the first time, he wasn't even sure if he had a roster spot for the long, lanky prospect. But there was one thing Chet had that only few could rival with, and that was his height and his work ethic. Because as Chet got older, he continued to grow into his body and work on getting more and more comfortable on the court. Instead of just focusing on honing in his low post game, Chet realized the value of developing an outside game, putting supreme effort and becoming a better shooter and ball handler. However, the playing time still wasn't there even heading into high school. Playing on the same high school team as Jalen Suggs, another intriguing NBA prospect, the level of talent ahead of him kept him from truly breaking out on the national scene. It wasn't until Holmgren's sophomore year, where he averaged 18 points and 11 boards per game, where colleges started to take notice and recognize, oh wow, there might be something here. By August 2019, playing at Steph Curry's select camp, he became a household name thanks to a moment I'm guessing Chet will remember forever. Yep, you saw that right. As if it was the signal that his transformation was complete, everyone in attendance witnessed live a 7-foot Holmgren cross Steph Curry with some crispy handles. Fast forwarding to today, Chet Holmgren in the last week committed to Gonzaga, and as the #1 prospect in the country, he will be looking to avenge their brutal loss in the NCAA Tournament Championship game. So real quick, let me talk a little about the significance of this commitment as it relates to college hoops. Because make no mistake, the college basketball recruiting world for elite prospects has been disrupted in recent years, and this only accelerates things. Beyond the new rule that allows top high school prospects to go directly into the NBA G League, the typical recruiting powerhouses have been losing their allure in comparison to other programs. Just a few examples: Roy Williams at UNC is gone, and it remains to see how it will impact Carolina's recruiting. Duke is starting to lose a few more head-to-head battles than they are used to, and Michigan's Juwan Howard is quickly emerging as one of the best recruiters in the nation. In my opinion, Gonzaga now has an incredible opportunity to seize the moment and change their narrative from a place undervalued players go to prove they're just as good as the McDonald's All-Americans to the headquarters of McDonald's All-Americans. It started with Jalen Suggs and co last year, and the trend is continuing this year with Chet Holmgren. Honestly, Gonzaga in 2021 with 0 titles but countless deep tourney runs reminds me a lot of Duke back in the late 80s and early 90s when Coach K was knocking at the door for his first title. I think there is a chance Gonzaga becomes the new Duke if they're able to get a title in the next couple years. But anyways, how exactly is Chet Holmgren going to help Gonzaga out and then potentially an NBA team down the road? Let us go through a quick scouting report for those unfamiliar with this game. First and foremost, Chet's greatest value add at the moment comes from the defensive side of the ball. Let's not get that twisted. At 7'1" with a near 7'4" wingspan, Holmgren has great mobility for a big and is able to challenge just about anything near the rim. Averaging 4.7 blocks per game in his senior season, Chet is far along in his development on the delicate balance of protecting the rim without excessive fouling. Offensively, averaging 20.8 points on a ridiculous 80% from the field, it is no surprise here Holmgren focused the majority of his offense just a few feet around the basket. In high school, while very few players are going to carry the physical tools to force Chet to show off the block, indisputably the most exciting aspect of Holmgren's game is his potential to rapidly develop on the perimeter. I mean, just take a look at how fluid he looks handling the ball here, and even pulls up from a distance at a height of 7'1". I gotta be honest, there's only a few NBA players at that size that reminds me of those type of highlights, and that really speaks to what he could become down the road. Beyond the shooting and ball handling, Holmgren also displayed some quality vision and playmaking potential, dishing out 4.5 assists per game for his high school squad. Finally, my favorite strength of Chet is an easy one to call out, and it truly comes down to how fast he has developed over the years. No doubt the Curry crossover boosted his profile tremendously, but that only shows a fraction of how much he has improved in the last several seasons. I love looking out for this trait because it gives you an idea of how much runway left there is for a prospect like Chet. However, let's keep it 100. As I'm sure you guys can think of a few weaknesses just from Holmgren's appearance alone, Holmgren definitely has a few things to work on before we can call him a guaranteed NBA star. Number 1, Chet may have a rude awakening initially moving from high school to college. Moving from boys to men, it is going to be interesting to see how well Holmgren is going to adjust and if he will have the strength to handle the increase in athleticism and speed around the rim. Remember when Michael Phelps revealed he was eating 12,000 calories a day in the middle of the 2008 Olympics? Yeah, someone tell Mark Few Holmgren needs to get on a diet like that with his current frame. Personally, I don't think you need to have Chet gaining a natural amount of weight, but he'll definitely need to bulk up the next few years to be able to bang with NBA level bigs. Lastly, this isn't really a weakness, however the question on how real the perimeter skills are is going to be the difference between a potential quality NBA starter and a potential NBA superstar. The problem relying on mixtapes and short-second highlights to evaluate a player is it can create unrealistic expectations on what a player actually brings to the table. A perfect example of this I think we can point to is Thon Maker. I vividly remember a highlight mixtape of Thon Maker a couple of years back that in hindsight made him look out to be a player that he was nowhere near actually being. Now, don't misquote me. I'm not saying the perimeter game from Holmgren is a mirage, not in the slightest. I'm just saying we should not expect this guy to be a Kevin Durant type of unicorn. He's much closer to a big man than he is a positionless player. However, if we start seeing him be able to guard wings with ease and develop a quality face-up game, maybe you're looking more at a Bam Adebayo type who is known for his immense versatility. Regardless, any way you look at it, Holmgren has a ton of potential, and when it comes to the NBA draft in a year's time, that's truly the most important qualification. If Gonzaga can even develop him a little bit, barring injury, I think guys are looking at the top pick of the 2022 NBA draft. And for someone who was coming off the bench a couple of years ago, that's not a bad come up at all. Anyways guys, that's the video, hope you enjoyed. Just wanted to talk a little bit about Chet Holmgren as I missed out on doing college hoops and NBA draft evaluation for the longest time. Let me know what you think. Do you think Chet is the next NBA superstar? Leave a comment below. With that said, hope you guys have a beautiful day or night or whatever time it is. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.